we were talking about the 2015 Florida real estate year in review. And one of the things that, we just finished up talking a little bit about, is there going to be another bubble and all of that kind of stuff. But the next thing is condos, because condos were really hurt more than single family homes when everything came down. And the reason for that is more because, well, in the Central Florida market, when I moved here from Chicago, and there were, I lived in a condo in Chicago. And then when I moved here, there really weren't many condos. So this condo market has really, come into fruition through the 15, 16 years that I've lived here. What happened in the condo market is that there were so many of them, and it was kind of a new product to the area, first of all. And then the second thing that happened is that when everything kind of fell apart, there were condo associations that weren't seasoned or whatever yet. And so, they didn't necessarily have the reserves that they needed. And so just going through that, and now they all have their rules of how they're collecting the fees and everything, that stuff won't happen. And you can really see that in the lenders and what the lenders are doing. Florida's, real estate rebound, it totally outperformed the nation as a whole. And we're just really excited that there's a lot to be happening here in Central Florida. And just going over the numbers a little bit, why don't you go over, kind of the in a nutshell, what's going on in the Central Florida market?
Yeah, just from, let's say 2014, the median price is around 182,000. So each year it's steadily going up, which is awesome. It's actually on an increase of about 10%. Sales, there were 2,200 sales.
That's just in
for the
1 month.
Yeah, just for 1 month. And then pending sales for the month were 5,100. New contracts, 3,300. And the interest rate was at 4%.
And one of the things that a lot of people are really surprised about is the low amount of a down payment that you actually need. Because we've got some programs, and the state offers some programs, and the federal government does as well for first-time buyers. So there are, we've been actually have a campaign going right now for 2,000 down that can get you into a house, and people think, is that really real? And yes, we've done it time and time again. And when you look at the tax benefits and everything that comes into it, it's definitely worth checking into. I just recently read and we do know this, that that in an average or a market, or a balanced market, I guess is a better term for it, that they say always that you should have about 6 months supply of homes. And so if you've got 6 months supply of homes to sell, then that's where buyers and sellers kind of have an equal, feet on the ground kind of a thing. But where we're at in Orlando right now is that, it had been about 5.4 month supply, and right now we're at a little less than 4 months supply. So when you're looking at that, it definitely is a seller's market.